Yeah.
Okay. You changed up the music from the last time?
Nah, same song.
It's the same one? Okay.
Same song.
Okay.
Same song. Yep. What's up, everybody? You are tuned into another week of Access Granted, the pod stream. It's your boy, Mr. Antoine, in the building. And as always, my lovely, lovely assistant, my lovely, lovely partner, Lisa Mone't, is always doing the Lady Di wave.
We used to do this in high school all the time. So yeah.
What's going on, sis? How's everything? Other than your
Everything's
busy
good.
day.
Everything
Other
is good.
The day off that wasn't a day off.
The day off. It's never Monday is never the day off, and they got the nerve to send like overtime requests if you want to come in. Absolutely not. You need your time. You need your me time. So no.
Absolutely.
Mm-mm.
Absolutely.
That's all good. Everything's good. How was your weekend?
Weekend was amazing. A little upset that I missed the Walbrook all class cookout, but I had another event that I had to attend, and Walbrook wasn't paying. So,
okay.
But shout out to but yeah, I mean, but shout out to all of my Warriors, man. I heard they had an amazing time.
Good.
From the pictures and the videos I've seen, I'm actually a little upset that I missed it, but I'll see them again.
So where did you go instead? If you want to share.
I had a luau.
Oh, okay.
A marriage ministry luau. It was amazing. We held it at someone's house in Edgewood, Harford County.
Okay.
The house sits on what has to be at least 1/4 acre.
Wow. Okay.
And a lot of space to do a lot of activities, and we did a lot of activities, so it was definitely a lot of fun. It was
okay.
Yep.
That's what's up.
And then I got sick over the weekend.
Oh.
For like 15 hours. That was weird because it came and left, and then it hit me again last night, which was kind of weird, but
Is it like food poisoning?
No, it feels like a fever. It feels like a fever.
Oh my.
And I feel a lot of congestion up in the chest area. And it literally bothers me for a couple of hours, and then it's over. So I don't know what's going on. What's going on, but definitely got to make a change. I'm gonna put the shirt on real quick.
Ownership is gangster.
Shout out to my man. God, I forgot his name, Marcus. My man Marcus. From Baltimore hip hop group Dirt Platoon. He has these t-shirts for sale now for $20, man, and I had to go cop one from him. I always try to support people when they doing their thing. And ownership is actually pretty damn gangster, so I actually thought the shirt was kind of fire myself. Definitely. Thoughts and prayers out to the family of Gilly the King.
Oh yeah,
AKA Gilly the Kid. He's one half of the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast. His son unfortunately was murdered over the weekend in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Shot in the back. Shame on whoever shoots anyone in the back. That's a little cowardly to me, but I've talked about my son on this show many a times, and they always say you're never supposed to bury a child, but in the 53 years that I've been on this earth, parents have been burying a lot of kids, and I'm gonna just keep it, as
Yeah.
100 as I can about that, especially in the last 5 to 10 years. There's definitely more parents burying their kids than vice versa. And
True.
as a parent and as you are, I don't think we could even begin to fathom the thought of having to lay one of our kids to rest, especially losing them to the street. If they're
Yeah.
if they car accidents happen, if they're sick, a
Yeah.
lot of kids are born with something, and they might
We don't know.
situations like that you kind of understand, but to lose them to
Yeah.
the streets is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking. And the more that we talk about this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and the more that we keep asking what can we do, and the more that people keep doing, it just seems like it's never going to be enough. You know what I mean? I hate to
Yeah.
say it, I hate to give up. I know that God is in control of all things, but
He is.
I just feel like we're living in a day and a time right now where a lot of that generation, unfortunately, it just kind of is what it is.
Yeah.
I was watching oh my gosh, the name is called Black Ink Crew Chicago.
Okay.
Um, and one of the episodes that came on was right around. It started, was filmed right around Memorial Day, and
Mm-hmm.
as the show came on, they were filming. Oh, I gotta go make this public. I forgot. As the show came on, they were showing like news clips from the Monday or the Tuesday after Memorial Day,
Okay.
and the headline was 76 people shot and 6 murdered over the Memorial Day weekend.
Oh my
Like,
goodness.
yo, like, you know what I mean? We get mad in Baltimore when it's 4 or 5. They had 76. And I know that I'm sure that there's probably like
Mm-hmm.
a population difference. I'm sure Baltimore is smaller than Chicago. But
True.
gosh, man, come on. In a weekend?
Mm. Mm.
And
Mm.
fortunately it was only 6 that passed away. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Out of all of
I
those
mean,
people,
yeah. Either that's either a lot of people are very blessed, or it's a lot of people that really don't shoot that well. You
they,
know what I mean?
yeah,
But either
yeah,
way, man, 76 shootings in a weekend is like, yo, send these kids to Iraq or something, man, if they want to,
yeah.
and the sad part about it is, and the one thing that I'm seeing more and more that I didn't used to see is that there's a lot more innocent people that didn't have anything to do with it. There's a lot
Mm-hmm.
more young people, a lot more
Mm-hmm.
kids, babies, infants, toddlers that are
Mm-hmm.
just getting caught by stray bullets being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
That's true.
And that's the part that like really, really freaking saddens me. Like, no disrespect. If y'all want to kill each other and,
Right.
do that, man, do what you will. But please, man, don't just be
Yeah.
out here. It's not the Wild Wild West. It's not the OK Corral. You can't just be out here just spraying bullets,
Exactly.
all around.
You
It's
can't.
just it's crazy. It's crazy. But anyway,
Yeah.
I hate starting on that note, but
I
I had
know.
to I had to give you, because you know what, $1 million worth of game is actually one of my favorite podcasts,
Mm-hmm.
and I love the show, and that's what makes him losing his son that much more sad,
Yeah.
because one of the things that they do on that show is that they bring a lot of the up and coming artists from different cities on that show,
Mm-hmm.
and they give them a lot of game, on how to get out of the streets, and
Yeah.
how to, how to not only just, as far as navigating the music business, but really just, giving them ways that they can, work on getting themselves together and becoming, responsible young men. And I know
Mm-hmm.
for a fact with him and his cousin Wallow, who is his co-host on the show,
Mm-hmm.
with them, being as close as they are,
Yeah.
they really do a lot in the city of Philadelphia, and it's just sad that the city of Philadelphia had to take that man's son the way
Yeah.
that he is. Now, of course, when you have a situation like that happens,
Mm-hmm.
everybody and their mother has something to say.
Yeah.
I hate when people start talking this, oh, that was a blood sacrifice for something. So, so they just sound like a $10 million contract for their podcast a couple of
Really?
months ago. Yeah, like they're
Wow.
doing well. They're doing well.
Wow.
And there's people saying, okay, so this is the blood sacrifice for you guys signing a deal with the devil and stuff like that. Not, bro, I'll be wanting to see people in person when they say that, so I can just, you know what I mean? Like, come on.
And normally the people that say that will be anonymous, or you don't have a picture up
Right,
or something
right,
like that.
right,
It's
right, right.
always
Exactly,
those people
exactly,
that say
exactly,
make those
exactly.
comments.
That's crazy. It's crazy.
Why you
But
just can't have a blessing without it being a sacrifice?
it's just, somebody else that was mentioned about somebody else who lost their life not too long ago. But anyway, we're not going to
Yeah.
dwell on the stupidity of that because we have an absolutely amazing guest today. As I said on the post yesterday, and I got to give a shout out to one of my favorite people in the world, my man Dr. Eric Holmes. um I was out getting something to eat one day, and Dr. E was out getting something to eat, and he introduced me to this young lady. And then I had an opportunity to see her sing at one of Dr. E's events a couple of months ago. And I was like, okay, not only am I bringing you on the show, but I got to find an opportunity to get you to my church because I need you to come bless my congregation. And
Oh wow.
we just had happened to be looking for some people to come out and sing for our 5-year anniversary.
Okay.
And she charged me like $30,000, which was a little bit out of my budget,
Oh my goodness.
but I felt like it was going to be worth it. So
You
I
went
went,
ahead and paid it.
yeah, started a GoFundMe to raise the first 10. And then, I did some by hook and by crook stuff to get the other
Oh,
20.
not the by
And
hook and by crook.
yeah, I was a little late with the last $5,000, but she got her payment in full. So, I'm off the hook now, but definitely, honored and happy to have this young lady here on the show with us today. I'm sorry, Miss Mone't Horton. Hey, sis.
Hey.
Hey,
Hi.
hey, hey, hey. Thank you, brother, my new brother, Antoine.
look, look, hey Lisa, she gonna send me a text message talking about what's y'all flow on the show. I was like, we just kick
However
it.
the
We
spirit
just
moves, that's how
we
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 do.
just we just kick it. And Lisa, I really think this is somebody that's gonna give you a lot of inspiration for all of the moves that you're ready to make. So I'm definitely happy to have you here, sis. What's been going on? I know I asked you off air, but now we're on air and we're live, so you got to tell the people what's been going on with you.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes. Well, again, great evening. I say great evening, great people. Thank you so much for having me here, and pleasure to meet you, Lisa, as
Oh,
well.
same.
Um,
Same.
so what have I been doing? What have I been up to? I have been moving. I think I shared with you last week, and I heard you sharing before coming on. Last week I had a couple of engagements, and then Monday, yeah, last week this time, it's like something hit me and I was on lockdown the whole entire
Mhm.
week. But I am grateful that God did a 360 on me, and I'm here and have been moving. But I have been in purpose, moving in purpose, really exhausting, wanting to put all of the gifts and talents that God has given me to action. And that is what I've been doing.
Crazy.
Okay.
Um, I've heard a little of your testimony, a very little bit of your testimony. And I can't bring you here, and I can't have you up here without you sharing. I just want you to basically give us a little bit of your background. Um, we're all born children of God, but we don't always, there's times in life when we hit those moments where we really start to take that title seriously. And
Mm-hmm.
so
Hmm.
I just want you to give a little bit of background information on Mone't, and just, kind of share with us, your journey, so to speak.
Absolutely, absolutely. So my name again is Mone't Horton, everyone, and a little bit of
And y'all see, she put the asterisk after the E before the T, and not MO asterisk like everybody else does. I just wanted to point that out. Go ahead.
because it's silent. It's silent. And so we always go through that because my mom's name is Mone't and she spells it Monette, and then so I always have to kind of
Mone't.
explain that.
Wow. Okay.
But
Wow.
back to me, really, my life. I go back and I always like to start with it is by God's grace that I'm here, because when my mom was carrying me, I'll be 38 next month on the 17th. Whoop whoop. And
Uh,
so um
youngin,
huh,
youngin.
young.
I said youngin.
So yes, when she was carrying me, she had a very difficult pregnancy, and a lot of family members, even the doctors, kind of questioned, and um it was an opportunity for her, because she was young at that time, to abort me,
Hmm.
because her health was at jeopardy. And so during that time, my grandmother, Pastor Curlin Scott, who's now gone on to be with the Lord, we lost her um to cancer. And I don't want to say lost, but but with that being said, she during that time she was going through her bout with cancer, but she prayed and really supported my mother in navigating. um and so I can sit here today, and share. And so my life journey, when I really, really think about, when they talk about, when someone is pregnant, and it takes a whole lot of, the different, for you to be here. All
Yeah.
of us are here. We're here on purpose. We're here for a reason. And I did not always, know what my purpose was and my purpose is. I remember even growing up in school, my mother used to, dress me up, put the pigtails and looking good. But I kind of dealt with self-esteem, you
Okay.
know, um, issues growing up. A lot of people will look at me today and they would not even, think that. But I did.
Mhm.
And really the shift took place in my life where I was in church with my grandmother, and I started to realize and understand and to know my purpose in God and why He created me, not looking at myself and comparing myself. Because how many times do we always compare ourselves with other people? Oh, and I
Mhm.
was also heavier, heavy growing up. And so you see all the other young ladies and just comparing. But my mother always used to say, you are beautiful. Don't worry about what anybody else says. God created you special and all of that. And that really helped to restore the confidence. And so today, I am an ambassador. I am a vessel. I am I believe I'm a conduit. I'm here to support others on their journey, to let them know that, first of all, you are here for a purpose, for a reason, and don't doubt yourself. Self sabotage, that doubt, that got me stuck for a long time, for many years. And I believe that a lot of times that holds us captive. And so for me, I want to use my life and my light, and the reason why God has me here and has had me here for going on 38 years, to inspire other people, to let them know, yes, we have trials, yes, we have situations, yes, we have things, times that we want to throw in the towel, but you are still here for a reason. Have your
Mhm.
moment, have your season, but don't stay stuck. And
Mhm.
so, um, yeah, I have been just on this journey of self-discovery, on this for the last 10 years. And
Okay.
really, I remember being at work one day, and being at work, and I'm like, God, I do this well, but I know I'm feeling like it's something else deep down inside of me, right? It's like
It.
this gut feeling that I know is something bigger, it's something greater. I don't have the words, I can't quite articulate it and
Mhm.
pinpoint exactly what it is, but it's a burning passion and a desire to be more than what I am at this 9 to 5. And so, At that point, I really started to search, do some
Mhm.
soul searching, just do some evaluation. Okay, what do you like to do? How many times do we people ask us about our passion or ask you about your purpose? But
Mhm.
and some people, they throw around the word purpose all the time, but it's just
Mhm.
like, what do you want out of life?
Right.
So I had to think beyond just me showing up at my 9 to 5 every day. And so I have been on this journey. And so at that point, I didn't know, but like a month later, um, as soon as I made up a conscious decision in my mind that I wanted more and I wanted to begin to tap into that, then it's almost like those things I begin to attract. And so I didn't know at the time that what I was looking for was actually looking for me. And so we have to make a conscious decision on what we want out of life. And so when I started to tap into that and tap into all the gifts and the talents, I grew up in church singing, and that was just um I remember just being invited to sing a solo, and my grandmother, going to church with my grandmother, and then from
Mhm.
there it just spiraled out. And so, but just doing different things, singing and just um doing different things to utilize the gifts, leading this ministry, leading that ministry, and then in school doing a lot of other things. Started drawing and all the arts and different things. And so
Mhm.
I started to act. I started to utilize my gift in singing, my gift of administration and organization, all of the things. And when I started tapping into that, then I began to figure out, okay, what do I like? What are the things that I like?
Mhm.
What don't I like to do? And so I believe that that is important. And I know
Mhm.
you asked me, what is your background, and how did you, get to this point? All of this has been,
Yeah.
a part of
It's all
my
yeah.
journey. And I just believe one of the biggest pieces, and that's how I came upon the single grace upon grace, is that self-discovery.
Mhm.
uh, that self-discovery, and we have to take that time. Sometimes we are so in a rush and so in a hurry in life to get to that next and to accomplish our goals that we do not enjoy the process. And for me, that hasn't always been easy, because Monet wants to know A, B, C, and all the way to Z. But God
Mhm.
had to slow me down, and
Mhm.
He slowed me down and said, embrace the process. Take note of everything that you encounter, every valley, every low season in your life when you felt like you wanted to throw in a towel, every moment where you feel like you were stuck,
Mhm.
every moment where you've seen you begin to doubt yourself and compare yourself to other people. All
Right.
of those pieces matter on our journey. And so I
Mhm.
had to begin to embrace the process. And um and uh just to kind of bring us forward, in 2000, and it's been 4 years, so what was that, 2019, um my mom, in May of 2019, she had a stroke. There was
Mhm.
massive bleeding on
Mhm.
her brain. And I was, and that's kind of interesting, because I'm thinking to kind of bring me back full circle, because literally, I was at work, and on during that day, I had so many clients. I had probably over 30 clients that I had to service, and she had called me and said, "Mo, I'm not feeling good. I
Mhm.
something just is not right." And I'm like, "Ma, I can't get to you right now." But I wanted her to make sure she was okay. Do we need to call an ambulance, whatever? And then I'm gonna be right there as soon as I finish. And um, we didn't know at that time what it was, but thankfully,
Mhm.
my stepfather was able to get there and rush her to the hospital. At
Mhm.
that point, I'm leaving work. I'm headed to the hospital. And we found out that there was massive bleeding on her brain. And in a split second, when we got there, they did all the tests. They said that they had to send her because there was no hospital. All of the big hospitals here in Baltimore, they were all packed to capacity, and they had to take
Okay.
her to DC.
Hmm.
And here we are,
Mhm.
that quick.
Right.
Here we are in Washington, D.C. We all got there, dropped everything. Even my grandmother was there. And we were there. Here's my mom on the ICU unit with, I'm literally walking the hall and seeing patients where they have their hair cut off, shaved off because
Yeah.
they have to have these surgeries. And
Right.
I'm like, God, you seeing adults, you seeing children as well. And get to my mom's room, and my mom she's at that point, she's like, look, whatever you all want to do, whatever you need to do, if you need to cut my hair, do what you got to do. Um,
Mm.
but I want to live. I want to live. I want to live. I want to live. And I'm like, God, we thought that she would have to have the surgery and have her hair cut off and everything. And when she went in, the doctor came out a couple hours later and said, what was bleeding? The bleeding has begun to subside and to
Oh my
dry.
goodness.
We were praying and
Wow.
praying and praying, for her. And that was about a 3 to 4 day, almost a week journey with her. But even during that process, I really didn't realize it during the time, but I was just so in a zone, just locked into a zone that, God, you gotta bring my mother through. I
Hmm.
mean, I'm praying like, God, you gotta bring my mother through. But at the same time, he was ministering, to me. And that is when these lyrics started, coming to me,
Hmm.
and through my process, and God's grace, and his mercy, just being
Hmm.
able to just cover us.
Right.
And so we went through that, and she ended up coming home. And I'm
Wow.
just so grateful for that. But it also showed me how quickly, we are day to day, we're doing things, we're so, we're just in the motion, but how quickly life could be
It's
snatched away.
strange. Yeah. Yeah. Amen. Oh my
How
goodness.
life can be snatched away from us. And um we have to take advantage of every single moment, every single time. And when I look back, I said, I do not want to be so, I remember when they called me and I couldn't jump up and go to her because I was locked down into my 9 to 5. I said, God,
Yeah.
you have to make a way for me to
Right.
be free,
Right.
to not only live life and live it abundantly, as you said, but to be able to at any time be able to take care of my family and be there to support my mom, because life is definitely too short. So all
Hmm.
that to say, today I am free to, I'm in a season where I am free to be able to be there to support my mom, to support my family, to do the things that God wants me to do. And I hope I answered your question, Antoine.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
Absolutely answered the question.
but that
And
was
so I wanted to let you get through all of that, but I want to go back because a lot of times, shout out to my wife checking in. Hey CC, the power of prayer. Amen. Um,
Hmm.
a lot of times we know that we want to make a move. We know that we want something to shift.
yeah.
And we ask God to give us that shift. But then when when that opportunity presents itself, when it comes, when it happens, then you start second guessing yourself, or you start getting a little cold feet, and you're not bold enough to step out there to make that move.
That part.
So when you experienced your shift, and what I'm getting out of this is almost that God used that situation for your mom to help you create that shift, so to speak. But you still have to have that boldness, and a lot of people don't have that faith to step. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, who was it that was on the water with God, and God was telling them to come here, and he didn't want to, you know what I'm saying? A lot of us
Mm-hmm.
don't have that boldness to go out there and take those steps.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the moment that you were able to say, okay, God, I hear you, and now I'm going to trust in you, and I'm going to go ahead and walk out there and take that step, because it's not
Yeah.
easy for everybody.
Look, it's not. And so what I didn't share, so it was a whole lot that took place.
Mhm.
You
We
know,
want it all. We want it
listen,
all.
I want it all. So before that happened in 2017, well, actually before that, in 2012,
Okay.
2013, I was in a job, in a position that I absolutely love. And but that's when that part of the
Mhm.
story, what I told you,
Right.
I was at a place where I'm like, wait a minute, it's something more. So it was a whole year that it was stirred in me. And I even was walking into work and tears literally started coming down my eyes.
Oh my
I was
goodness.
like, what? Nothing is wrong, but wait a minute. At least I ain't think nothing wrong. But it was like withdrawal. It was like I don't know what was going on. So I got in my office, and thank God I had an office during that time. And my director came in, and I ended up telling her because God was giving me a release, like you leaving here. I don't know when, but you leaving here. And so it was a whole year after that so that was 2012 and 2013. It's like he gave me the confirmation, like now is the time. It was at the end of a program that I was running with young people, and I literally had like 7 weeks, what was it, 2 weeks. I wrote my letter, and I was gone. So you asked about the shift. So me being the type of person who the A to Z, God, I need to know. First of all, I had bought my house.
Mm-hmm.
I had single, whole house, new home, okay, new car, all of these obligations. And I said, God, you want me to do what? You want me to leave? Like
Right.
what?
Right.
So y'all, you talking about faith? This was faith. I
Mm-hmm.
had to because I didn't have and this is the thing. I know a lot of people who in finances, in my
Mm-hmm.
network,
Right.
who, if I was to share it with them, even if I tell my bishop, tell my pastor, tell my mom, they be like, "Sis, don't you do that? Have your money stacked up."
Right. Right.
No, I didn't have what I wanted because that's what I would have wanted to do.
Right.
And it was almost like he had me in a place where I could not even seek out counsel to do it, the counsel that I could have, because he like, baby girl, this is between me and you, and I have you. And so um and so I went on this journey, and it was literally a faith journey. So that was the first leap. And I'm like, God, you have me out here. So I leave my 9 to 5 back in 2013
Okay.
to go on this self-discovery. This was the beginning. And I had a side business that I was doing in different things because like I said, I already had things. I grew up in a family of entrepreneurs. So I did hair, I did a little bit of everything.
Cool.
And so I already had that in me. And I don't like to say hustle, but I already had that little, hustle.
It's a hustle. It's the
Yeah,
hustle. It's
do
that.
my thing, right? You
Mm-hmm.
put anything in my hands, oh, we gonna multiply it. And my friends used to always say, Mone't, whenever we go somewhere, she gonna have her money. She gonna have her things. And so I went on this journey, and it wasn't easy. Like that first week, I said, God, y'all, I'm literally out here, and I'm in my house. We good?
Mm-hmm.
I'm in my house, and I'm in the floor. And I'm like, all right, God, I don't have nowhere to clock in at. So it's me and you. You're gonna have to tell me
Mm-hmm.
what's the strategy, what we doing. Because other than that, I don't know. And I was crying. I was crying and I was just like letting it all out. Like, God, oh, you got me on here. You said it's safe and all of that. And in that midst of that process, he gives me a strategy. And to what you said, Antoine, how you can get up and then you begin to doubt it. And so, or question what he said. I did that. I went through that process. But all the while, he kept pointing it back at me and saying, Monet, daughter, you got it. And during that time, because I was on this search to try to figure out, okay, like I was in a job, in a position where I could have been a career coach, I could have been a coach and all these other things. But I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And but while I'm out here, people calling me, asking me for advice. The thing that I
Mm-hmm.
didn't want to do, they calling me for advice. So I'm like, oh. And then one day I'm sitting in my kitchen. It's like God said, I said, wait a minute, is this what coaching is? Is this what this
You're
is?
already doing it.
So I begin
Already
to
doing
just
it.
be. It's almost like he's like, this be you're already doing it. And so I begin to do my research and I begin to get the necessary certifications and all of those things to do that. And the next thing was he had gave me a vision for a women's conference. And what I did, which was different from what I did before, after I stepped out on faith, it's like, okay. But then I was going through this period of time where I was vacillating, going back and forth. But I was watching and I saw a pattern that every time I followed what God said, he increased me, he blessed it. Everything that I did, he blessed. When I followed it through to the T, he
Mm-hmm.
made provision. But
Mm-hmm.
every time that I fell back from being in alignment to what he said, there was I wasn't clear. There was no clarity.
Okay.
I got stuck. And so to what you were saying is that, hey, I dealt with all of those different things and went through that process. And so that was 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Out doing the things, self-discovery, all of those different things. Then it was maybe like, but I remained in the connection with my director and all those different things and got an opportunity. I had established my business because now I'm actually coming up on 10 years in
Wow.
20 I'm sorry, in
Oh,
September, in 10 years.
okay.
And
Congratulations.
so thank you. So I got an opportunity to now consult, utilizing my skills of, again, administration, organization, all of those different things, and consult with the organization that I left from. Talking about your gifts, making room for you, but again, it's because I had to leave the space, right? And sometimes when we step out on faith, you're not, that's the thing. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So you're
Mhm.
not going to see it,
Right.
but you have to make the step. And a lot of times, and this is what I tell individuals, that it's not until you take the steps. A lot of times you're waiting for God to do something, or you're waiting for something to happen, but he's waiting for
You
you
to take the step. Right.
to take the steps. So
Right.
I took the steps. I took the steps. I published my first book. Thank you. Shout out to my friend LaQuisha Hall, Queen LaQuisha Hall. She helped me with my first book, From Reality to a Wealthy Place, when I began to journal my and I didn't know this at the time, y'all. So again, I'm just going through the process, but I started to journal my journey and the ups and downs, the valleys, the times where I was stuck. And when I presented it to her in 2017, she was like, Mo, that's a book. You need to go ahead
Mm.
and write the book. because you have the skeleton here, just add the content. And then I was able to get my book published in 30 days. And we was able to do that. And so again, just going through this process. And so I would begin to consult with the job that I had left, looked up, it was like 2-3 years had went by, an opportunity became available for me to, go back. But I had, the time that I had left, I had got the received the necessary qualifications and certifications. And so again, we don't know the processes that we're going through, but it's up to us and our responsibility to be good stewards over our time. And I was prepared to take advantage of the opportunity. Now, I was in that position for about 6 to 8 years, and that's the position bringing it up into the time where my mom, ended up going into the hospital. That's the position that I was in during the time. Okay. And actually, so again, we went through 4 years from there, and I ended up in 2022, March of last year. That's last year. It's going on 2 years now.
Right.
In the position, again, that I loved, helping individuals, supporting them to be the best version that they can be as a coach. And God was like, it's time again. Because I really was like, God, are you sure you want me to sign this dotted line again to be a
right.
So basically, can I stop you in one? So if I'm following you, because this is a beautiful story, let me go back to say we are so grateful and thankful that your mom is still present with us. And that is a move. Thank you, God, for that. But going back, so the 2013 job, you then, God moved you. You got certifications for other things that you could do at that job, and you came back to that same one, or in a different position.
It was a different position.
Okay.
As a coach. Because of the credentials that I was able to get while I was gone.
I got you.
But in my mind, we started your own business. We doing this outside.
Right.
But he began to open up other, and that's when I would question, like, okay, are you sure that this is what you want me to do? But so did I answer your question?
Yes, you did. Because I was like, I kind of thought that's what it was, but I wanted to make sure that I was following you, because this is a good.
So Monet, real quick, I want to get this comment in. This is from one of my favorite people in the world. Shout out to my big little sister Tina Coleman, who happened to hear you sing at the anniversary, by the way. She said, too often we miss so much value in the journey by laser focusing on the destination, not realizing that the journey prepares you for the destination. Yes. That's powerful. That's so powerful.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Yes. And you hit it on the nose.
And look, and I'm gonna one of the things that I love about my brother Dr. E, and Dr. E, if you watching and you haven't chimed in yet, I'm gonna kick you in your kneecap the next time I see you.
Not the kneecap.
Yeah, in the kneecap. But I remember when I met Dr. E around the time that The Power of the Seed had just come out. And Monet, you know the story of how he was out of work at the time, and he was working on the book, and he was doing stuff at the I think he said that he was going to the library on Harford Road like every day, doing that kind of stuff. And that story always touches me because of the fact that he was out of work at that time, but he was so determined to get that project out, you know what I'm saying, in spite of, and he felt like God had put that book on his heart that it needed to manifest into the world. And so, even at times when he's figuring out how he's going to pay bills month to month, he's still manifesting Power of the Seed. And of course, he ended up, getting a job and all of that good stuff. But now when you look at where the Power of the Seed has gone to libraries all around the world, you
Mhm.
know, and the fact that he sold as many copies of it as he had, like that's the faith that a lot of us don't have. Because like if I'm out of work right now, I'm not sitting in the library working on a book.
Listen.
I'm out trying to make sure that I got a roof over my head next month by hook or by crook. And that's the one thing that I love about Dr. E. That's the one thing he like really taught me. He was like in that season, in that moment,
Mm-hmm.
you have to follow, you have to go with the journey and
Mm-hmm.
trust that everything else will be taken care of. But the
Yeah.
journey is the journey. And
Yeah.
everything that you're going through at that time is a part of the journey. And that he taught me so much of a lesson every
Mhm.
time he talks to me about that. And you know, I remember when he had a book signing at the library on Harford Road, and I
Mm-hmm.
went up there, and I don't even think 5 people came to that book signing. And to see the dignity that he handled that with, because he was like, it's not about who's not here, it's about who's here. And the way that Dr. E handled that, and I don't think I've ever told him that, but I really gained an amazing amount of respect for him,
Mm-hmm.
for the way that he just continued to carry that journey with the power of the seed. And shoot, that was what, like 3 or 4 books ago. You know what I'm saying? He's gone
Right.
out and done all of this amazing stuff now. Dr. E is like that dude when it comes
Mm-hmm.
to, you know, just stepping out on faith and what does he say? Work the vision, build the brand.
And build the brand. And he is my brother rocks. And so let me just give a whole shout out to him,
Yeah,
because even me and you connecting is
yeah, through
because
him.
and
Right,
through him
right.
being just who he is, and his PR. Like, he pushes me. Even like 2 weeks ago, y'all, we went to an event, not to go, but we were in an event. He invited me out to a networking event, Oasis in the city. um Shout out to Catherine Trotter, and it was awesome. But I just really wanted to go and have a seat in the, just it, not, I
Yeah,
don't have to be in the back and
right,
everything. I know it's
right.
networking. And my brother, next thing you know, Catherine is saying, and we're going to have Monet to come up and she's going to sing. What? Wait a minute.
He set
He
you
said,
up.
wait a minute, bro. He said, I looked over at him. I cut my eye at him, y'all. I said, bro.
That's true Dr. E fashion right there too.
And look,
That's
he said to me, he said, sis, trust me. He said, sis, just
Mhm.
follow my lead, sis. I said, bro, I'm gonna get you. If you look at the video, it was on my page. I'm gonna get you. But I so appreciate him because he pushes. He pushes.
Mhm.
And sometimes the things that we know to do, being in business, like we know to promote. I know to promote. Sometimes the things that you know to do, it's easy for you not to do. It's not
Mm-hmm.
so much that you don't want to do it, but it's just like sometimes it's like, just for a second, can I just sit down for just for a minute? But we got to be also ready, be prepared. And
Mm-hmm.
so I mentioned that earlier, being prepared, but I just want to say thank you. Yes, because my bro is definitely a great cheerleader. And you talked about the seeds, even his book, because we talk about this, because with me and him, and we have something coming up, when power and wealth collides. And so and he talks about the power of the seed, and I talk about moving from reality to a wealthy place. And what really, how he could sit in that library, right, and prepare a book during a time that he could be like out here hustling. Let me do a Uber, a Lyft, or something. Carry a package. I got a whole mortgage, all of that, and stick to the vision. It's because our mindset. See, we don't realize the power that we possess. And God has put so much in us. I've been reading a book about Miles Monroe, and it talks about the power of our potential. When we look at our potentiality, potential, the P, the O, it has in that potent, which is power. Right? We have so much power within us, and God has placed us here to dominate, not to eat the crumbs of the land. You know what I'm saying? And so, but we don't realize the power that we have. And so, in every day, in every situation, we have an opportunity to either succumb to the situations and worry, right, that we're dealing with, the
Right.
calamities, the things that's happening in the world, or we can direct our energy there, or we can direct our energy on what we want, and focus on the power that's within us and the power of creation, the power of being. And so with him doing that, he focused on that. And so now you're taking that energy and you're now utilizing it to create and not focus on your trouble, because that does nothing for us.
It does not.
It does nothing for us. And so, and that reminds me, because back during that time he was in that season, that's when I was in my season and I had transitioned. And so we were connecting back then. And during that time when I left, look, I had situations where, and people would never know, where I had a client, because I, doing hair, growing up in a salon with my mom, I started doing hair as well. Had a client coming, went down, because, I was doing hair in my home, and went to go click the lights, y'all, and the light ain't respond. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so I said, wait a minute, what happened? What? I know, something. And so in that moment, I had to shift. So things are going to happen, but I couldn't sit there and, say, well, I can't do it because of this. Okay, what's plan? I did have a little second though. I did have a little second. But my friend said, Mo, you out here empowering everybody else. You're not going to do that. So he didn't let me have, he let me have a little second, but then I had to pull it together. Right. And I had a plan B.
Right.
So right. I did my client. We went somewhere else and we made it happen. And so, and I could have called mom, dad, people to save us. But see, some of that, and it's not about in pride, because I had to check myself. I was like, you know what, pride, I ain't want to call nobody.
Right.
But no, but I believe that, I'm like, God, I'm not trying to just be here dealing with hardship, but I believe you have me out here, and I want you to see me through. You know what I'm saying? He did. He allowed the resources. It was all a part of the journey. Sometimes, my point is that sometimes we want the easy way out, but can you endure? I said a whole.
It's.
And you didn't. You did, but it was good. It's one thing if you're saying a whole lot and it ain't saying nothing.
Right.
You said a whole lot of something.
We have to learn how to endure the process, embrace it. And that's when he locked me in and said, daughter, I know you want to get to the promise. Right. I know you want to get to all the things that I said, and I'm going to do that thing. But I need you to endure. I need you to embrace, because there are valuable lessons that I want you to glean from this. I have everything, everything is lining up. But sometimes, and look, I had to stop, because I said, God, I don't want it prematurely. Because I'm seeing people, go ahead, Antoine.
Wow, no, because who's when you say that you don't want it prematurely, then you're putting it on your time. You know what I mean? What like premature to who?
No, what I got from what she was saying is that she don't want it before it's time. That's what I got. Like you didn't want the end result before it's time. So you were okay with going through the process. Is that what no? Yes?
First starting the process, I was not, but as I've started stepping into it, I began to embrace. And so, yes, you got me, Lisa. And so what I mean is that I'm ready for God's time, but what I'm saying is that sometimes we're so much on our own timetable.
Right. Okay. So
we are not developed enough yet
Okay.
because
So
we
we're
would blow it if he gave it to us
okay.
right
Got
away.
you. Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Shout out to my man, Uncle Pastor Philip Miller in the building.
Yeah,
Pastor
yeah.
Victoria Living Faith Ministries.
Mhm.
He the one that really paid you to come out and sing because I ain't have $30,000 for you that
Oh
night.
my goodness.
Oh yeah,
You
you
in
know
this
what? I meant to say something about that, bro, because you always playing.
he played
But
all
I
the
thank y'all
time,
for
Mr.
the
Name.
opportunity
I,
to come out because
I
that was
told
amazing.
Pastor Phil you wanted $30,000. He was like, "Well, who else you got?"
That's Pastor Phil. Hey, Pastor
That's
Phil.
Pastor Phil. Yes, that's
My
my.
lord.
I hope I did all right for y'all. I hope I did
Oh
all
no, you
right.
did absolutely amazing. That was absolutely amazing. And I got to give a shout out to Pastor Phil. And this is totally going off the key. Um, Yesterday at church was our youth and young adult explosion. Which basically meant that the young people took over the service.
Mhm.
And Pastor Phil had my 6-year-old goddaughter in the pulpit with him, and they did a dual sermon together.
What? Oh,
Aww.
that's
And
nice.
I'm gonna just say, go to the VLF ministry, Victorious Living Faith Ministry page on Facebook. And I tried to warn Pastor Phil in advance that you give my goddaughter the mic, things
Wow.
might not go as planned. But it was absolutely amazing. And there aren't too many pastors that will open their pulpit up to anyone.
That's
You
true.
know what I mean? Especially a woman,
Hmm.
and especially a 6-year-old.
What?
You know what I'm saying? But she pulled up with her sermon notes,
I know that's right.
and
Listen,
they did a thing together, and she was telling stories, and she was teaching me some stuff yesterday. I was like, okay,
Oh.
that's what's up. What's going on? Let's go ahead. Oh, and my wife says, we still need you for the dance anniversary.
Oh.
So, Monet, I will
me?
be in
Oh,
touch with
right.
you.
Praise
I
You
will
him.
said
be
me.
in touch with you about that. Um,
Okay.
and I'm gonna have your people call her people because I'm not paying you to come dance, come sing for the dance anniversary. That's
He said
probably
he don't have any more 30,000 to give you.
no, that
Oh my
30,000
God.
is
Look, look,
gone.
look. Let me just say,
That's what he
bro, let
said.
me receive all of that right now. I'm gonna receive because you speaking into the, atmosphere. So
Yes,
I'm
he
gonna
is.
Absolutely,
receive that 30, one day.
absolutely,
Yes. I'm
absolutely.
gonna receive
Well, I'm
that.
gonna speak it too. Hello.
Yes. And yes, shout
And
out to your wife because she stopped me and she is just a jewel. And I was blessed by her ministry as
is she all
well.
right? Oh man,
Don't
now,
do that.
now, now I got to go upstairs to her big head talking about.
No,
I'm just
no,
a
don't do
girl.
that. Don't do that.
Pastor Phil, you said pencil yourself
Filter
in.
yourself in.
Y'all got to give
Um,
me the dates.
I was gonna say, Cece, can you do you have the dates for the dance ministry anniversary? Because we can definitely. She said, "Boy, bye."
Oh,
I'm not putting that comment on the screen. I don't want nobody to know you talk like that. But look,
uh-uh.
so look, Monet, as you're going through this journey,
Yes.
um, the gift of singing has always been there. Obviously, because you said that you sang.
In the
You said we
church.
don't have $30,000. We can put something on it.
Uh-uh.
We
Y'all
don't have
so
30,000. We can put something on it. Hey, we're a small church. We're working on that. But look, so as you're going through this journey, um, again, you said that you sang in church, when you were young.
Mhm.
So when did you decide to like make this crossover into putting out, music? Because Grace Upon Grace is like that's like your story. So when did you make the decision to start, going down that route, so to speak?
during the pandemic. During the
Ah,
pandemic. During the
everybody got their
pandemic.
hustle. Everybody found a new hustle during
Listen,
the pandemic.
during the pandemic, it was like I have sung background for others and help push others in their projects. And
Mm-hmm.
it was just and I would find myself like even driving or however, because I never considered myself as a writer. But
Mm.
um when God gives me something, I'm gonna record it, take these phones, we use them for everything else, and I hit the recorder and record the lyrics, or if I'm writing down just so I won't lose it. And so um during the pandemic, I was in the house and I said, well, I'm going to birth all this time that he is given in this
Mm-hmm.
moment. Oh yeah. So I turned portions of my home into a studio, got the
Oh.
equipment, um, got a hired a coach to help me in the process. And shout out to Shannon Wright. She's transitioned now into health, but she supported me and throughout the process and helped me to put it together. So I had the lyrics. Well, actually, the chorus is what I woke up out of my sleep one morning singing. Grace upon grace you give every day. So I started singing that, not knowing what it would evolve to. And so at that point, I didn't know it was the chorus. And I had wrote it down, penned it. But it wasn't until the pandemic that I was able to really sit with it and add the chorus, the verses, excuse me, to it. And based on, and she helped me to dig deeper into my story because, and that's something that I'm working on because I'm a real private person, y'all. And so digging real deep and being real, transparent, because you can't be open to everybody.
True.
But I've been on this process more so, especially since I released the song, of just sharing, my journey, because I have it in my head, but then I have to really like sit down with it, and it's like share with other people, because what we go through is not just for us. And so that's when I birthed out the song during the pandemic, when I really sat with it and remembered the process, remembered the feelings the things that I was feeling, the pain, the hurt, the of the process, but then how God's grace, he gives it to us freely every day, and how I saw him make a way, in that process. So yes. Did I answer your question, Antoine?
Yes. And so you reading the comments?
He in a whole nother. I just wanted to make sure I'm not
he's
just
in a whole,
because I know I don't want to keep just going. But that's when it it was birthed out, and it wasn't an easy process again, because when you're sharing, it's like you start sharing the intimate parts of you, but that's how the song was birthed out. And even now, I never, because I'm used to singing praise and worship in church, leading in that way and in that capacity. And I remember like during the pandemic, because we couldn't go out to church, and I was the one doing praise and worship, by myself, recording tapes, and then they're playing it on Sunday morning. And I just felt like my voice was like on lockdown, like, because I wasn't because I'm used to singing at home. Those who sing will probably, understand. It just felt like I couldn't just like belt out like what I would do, in service.
Right.
And so now coming out of, and we're still, recuperating, going through the process of the pandemic, but now getting back out and singing, it's still a process.
True.
But I know one of my mentors, she was messing with me and saying, well, you still have praise and worship leader on your bio. Why don't you are a recording artist. So make sure that you're putting that on there. And I said, yeah, I know. I just never, and I'm just sharing this with you all. I never, I'm not into like all of these, different titles and stuff. And she said, well, that's what you are, and own it, that you are a recording artist. So y'all, I'm still going through, I'm being transparent and sharing with you all that it's like I know who I am in God, right? But still, even that, we have our times and our moments where it's like, okay, God, I'm embracing, I'm in this process, and I'm still also developing.
So yes, yes, you are officially a recording artist now because you have a song out, but praise and worship leader is never going to leave you.
You're right,
It's never
exactly.
going, it's always going to be, like the foundation, that you started on. So,
Absolutely.
we can add titles, but that's a title that's never going to be taken away. And shout out to my
Mhm.
man, Dr. E. I was saying he's finally here. He is in the building. And I
Thank
wasn't
you,
going to put you on the spot, but you know how Dr. E does. He says she has to
Uh-uh.
sing. She has to sing before she goes. The views expressed by Eric Holmes are those of Eric Holmes and not necessarily those of Access Granted the Pod Stream. I just want to put that out there.
y'all.
Miss Monet, Miss Monet, I'm not gonna let him sit here and tell no story. He said last week when you was about to come on here,
I
he was
did.
like, "I gotta get her to sing.
God
I gotta
about
get her to
that
sing."
part. Why
You
you
gotta
gotta
Thank
be
you,
bringing
sis.
up
So
old stuff?
you my sis for real. You gonna let me know.
Why you gotta be bringing up? I did. I did. I did. I did. I did. I forgot about
he
that.
did.
Y'all just put me all the way.
I forgot
It's
about
all right.
that. But
Look,
I
I
told
will.
you, I already told you that I have the song queued up. So if you don't want to sing live, we're gonna hear the song or we're gonna hear something from you tonight,
See, he said we're
regardless.
gonna hear something.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Just let me know
Absolutely.
when
We're
you're
gonna
ready, Lord Jesus. Oh,
sure.
say no
No
more.
You
better.
got
I
it.
was about to say no better time than the present.
You got it.
Oh my goodness.
No, we're not. No, I'm not gonna put you. I'm not gonna put you on blast like that right now because
Okay.
I want to continue to hear more of the story. So now that you've got the coaching and the consulting and everything going on now, and you've gotten into the singing.
Mhm.
Do you really feel now that you're doing your complete purpose?
I feel like that there is more that now is coming out of me and still coming. I'm steadily evolving,
Mm,
but I definitely feel like I'm in the flow and I'm in alignment. I'm on the trajectory. I'm right where God has me in this season.
okay.
Okay.
That's what I strongly feel. I feel like I'm positioned for him to do. Like I really feel like I'm a free agent. Like free God, I'm here.
Mm,
What you when I get up in
yeah.
the morning, y'all, this is literally my thing because I'm self-employed. I'm, you know, um, and oh, all right, God, what we doing today?
So let me,
you know,
so let me ask you this because now you're self-employed, so
Mm-hmm.
you don't have a guaranteed 40 hours
come on,
a
hello,
week. You don't have a guaranteed paycheck every week.
hello.
Mm-hmm.
And there can be some times when now you're starting to question, you know what I mean? You're starting to, so how do you make it through those times?
Yeah, you get antsy. Like our Lord. So
Yeah.
I'm out
Yeah.
here. I'm out. Me and God, we just have some regular conversations. I'm
Yeah.
out here
That's
on
y'all
your
should.
word, your word. So every day it's not like, oh hi. Sometimes it's like, all right, we real close. But y'all, you know what? What I can honestly say, because you're so right, I don't have that guarantee of your bi-weekly check. And sometimes it's real easy and it's safe. I can call up somebody and say, hey, you got a space for me? I'm coming back.
Mm.
Matter of fact, a couple, like not even a whole month ago, I had an opportunity. Hey, you want to come back? And I had, God, what we doing? You, you know. And so we having this conversation, but God, like he literally makes a way.
Mm-hmm.
And so and I'm at a place now. It's like when I think it, because I'm locked in on my mindset and working on my, where I'm focusing my energy at, and more so, I look at this season as an opportunity to create the life that I want to live. Right, I'm not just going in a cycle every day or every week. And so when I have those moments, it's just like, all right, Lord, bring me in. And it's also what also helps me is to in addition to the word and those things, but affirmations, and also setting an atmosphere, creating a space in my home. If you look behind me, I have positive affirmations.
Okay.
I have things, environment that's conducive to my development and keeping me focused. In front of me, I have a board with my goals on it, my projections, what I'm doing it over here. I have things, see the world, you know what I'm saying? So I have things that's around me in my environment that helps reinforce the positivity, and also keep me focused on what I'm creating and
Hmm.
not what's in the bank account.
I got
Yeah.
you.
And so that is the space that I'm in. We have to keep our minds elevated because it's
Hmm.
real easy. When you get
Checkbox.
up,
Hmm.
your mind can split. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Right.
Okay, Lord, right after your prayer, it can be like,
Exactly.
oh, that bank account or bill collector call. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Right.
so I'm in that, process, and but God, He will have a client to call. He has opened doors, like literally. I can honestly say, and some entrepreneurs might say, well, she don't do that, but I'm not out here like hustle, like out here marketing, like, hey, can you buy the book? Hey, you buy my CD? Can you do this? Can you welcome me to the,
Hmm.
I'm not doing that. And God, He's literally making room for me. People are
Hmm.
calling, opportunities to utilize the gifts and the talents that He's giving me. And so that's how I'm navigating this
Hmm.
season of um in between, you know,
Yeah.
and literally going, through the process. I'm not where I was in 2013, right? But every level is almost sometimes feeling like you are starting over again, but really you're not. And so I'm in a season of being obedient, and
Hmm.
sometimes your obedience to God, it looks like you're going rogue. It looks like, girl, you was crazy, you need to just go ahead and
Let
go
me.
and you know
Is that the hardest point sometimes to travel in that obedience?
Yeah, because obeying Him, it looks like, so how I'm gonna do that, you know so for example, I just what, in March, so like in January, God gave me the vision to host a retreat, my first retreat,
Right.
and women's conference, and it wasn't no little one. So the vision for me, it felt, and this felt like, well, all the things He gave me, but it was like huge, because I'm like, okay, so that's good, but so the resources, the finances, all of those things, you can sell tickets, you do all of that. But I'm like, all right, Lord, you got me out here.
Hmm.
I am, because when you are looking at venues and
Hmm.
things of that, you got to put down payments down. You have that. But when I tell you, I
Hello,
had,
hello.
what you say?
I said hello.
Yeah.
I'm in the midst of this as we speak.
So,
Trust
I
me.
mean, it wasn't no $1,000. It wasn't no, it, almost 20, you know what I'm saying? You putting out couple thousands of dollars, and you need to make different quotas and stuff like that. So that was one of the hugest examples recently for me, because I'm like, you gave me this vision, and so I'm stepping out, getting a team, and just being really prayerful about it. But when I say, going back to what I said earlier, when I followed and obeyed to the T of what He said,
Hmm.
provision literally followed. I mean, it followed. And during that time, Antoine and Lisa, I also shifted from um the ministry that I was
Mm,
locked in.
mm,
So
Okay.
my church, I had,
mm.
yeah, it's a whole lot of stuff. So when I
Come
say
on
God,
now.
and so okay, so He gave me this. So I left my 9 to 5 in March, but He also shifted me from my ministry, and I was, I am an ordained, minister, or licensed minister. They got, yeah, and leading praise and worship and all of this, and I'm having a conversation with my bishop, like, because I didn't said it before, right? But said God is, telling me this is what I got to do.
Mm-hmm.
I can't show up in services like I used to. All of these things, and looking at me like, oh, all right,
Mm-hmm.
okay, But for me, I know my obedience to God. Like when He tell me to do something, y'all, like I'm locked. I'm in a place that I'm locked into it, and I knew it was Him. I'm like, it's easy for me to stay, but now He's telling me to go. And so that's one instance when my obedience to God would have looked like I was going rogue, like I'm going against the leaders, not going
Mm-hmm.
against, but you understand what I'm saying, where you are an intricate part. When you're an intricate part of the service, you're an intricate part of the people look at you, why are you leaving?
Right. Right.
All of those things. But
Exactly.
y'all, when He tells you to do something, you got to do it because you are going to be held accountable. And I just believe, and now when you begin, so back in 2012, 2013, that was my first time really on this faith journey with God. But once He moves you one time and shifts you, it gets easier. And you get clear on His voice and how He's working and how He's moving with you. See, I remember my grandmother saying, when you hear, because we used to have conversations, she told me, yeah, when you hear God and all of this, and I'm thinking like, so God gonna talk to me in an audible voice? Like He gonna say, hey, Monet, get up and go, do this. And no, literally, I'm having this conversation with her. But she's saying, you gonna know when He talked to you. You gonna know. And so as a young person, I'm growing up like, all right, okay, I'm gonna know. And so, but as I grew in Him, what I realized is that He doesn't talk to me, at least in this season up to now, in an audible voice. But what He does, He impresses things upon my heart so hard that I cannot even ignore it. Like, sis, you need to go ahead and move in this way. So He impresses it upon my heart. So everyone's journey, that's another thing you're going to learn. You got to learn His voice. And sometimes it takes learning His voice. Sometimes you go the wrong way, but the next time you're going to learn the right thing. And so for me, He shifted me. Here I am launching out and doing a retreat. It didn't look like I'm just left my church. So I'm thinking about, okay, am I being covered? All the things that people in the church would think, oh, she launching out here doing her own thing. You know what I'm saying? Is she being covered and all of this? And God already, He covered me. But what I'm saying, these are the things. And so we got to get out of being religious. Right?
Yes.
Right? We gotta get free of being religious and held to, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do this. Cause y'all, I done been on every board. I was the young person representative on the board of trustees on the first church I went to. I'd have been on everything and I've served. But God said, He took me back to Revelations 2:4, which says, nevertheless, yet I have somewhat against you because you left your first love. So we got to stay in connection and relationship. Are you going to be, stuck to religion, or you want to have a real relationship? Because relationship is not held to four walls.
I know that's right.
Wherever you go, you have a relationship. So I can be in my home. And I believe that's what the pandemic showed us as well.
Exactly.
And so we need a relationship. And so many people in the world, they're looking at the church. We're in a place right now these days, and we can look at the world. You have all of this stuff going on, the LGBT, you got all of this stuff going on, right? But people are, the spotlight is all on the church, but and I always go back to the word where it says, the word of God says, with loving kindness have I drawn you. Are you loving? Are you being kind? Are you walking in the fruits of the Spirit?
Yeah.
Instead of pointing the finger and judging people, right? Now we got to be real clear, because it's a delicate balance. But He said, with loving kindness have I drawn you. So I believe that the relationship is important. I don't even know how I got there, but y'all, listen.
Because it was good. That's why you got there. The relationship is everything.
We got to have that. Your personal relationship And that is what when we lean into the journey, when we lean into the process, we only have one life that God gives us, and we have to be good stewards of that life. See, sometimes we, yes, we bring our tithes and our offering to church, and we fast and we pray, and sometimes we get so stuck in the religiousness of doing that we are not being. And I know somebody may say, hey, that's not right English, but look, he's called us to be. Stop worrying about doing. You try to get a whole nother degree. You're doing all of this. God said, sometimes you just got to stop all that, right? B, are you even using it? Do you have common sense? Do you know how to navigate? You know what I'm saying? You use what you have. You haven't even put what I put in you. You haven't even used that. And here you are seeking out something else. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know how to keep going, but you have to exhaust. And I was reading today, and I'm like, God, you got me. Ooh, he gave me looking at some things and talking about the factory reset. Sometimes when you are factory, sometimes we doing so much, and we doing this, but we all need to go back to our default settings, like the original. You talk about your purpose, like, God, what did you create me to be? See, we've allowed the world to show us or think, right, or show us a picture on Instagram or all that instant and all of that stuff of what we should look like, how we should have our hair, how we should wear our makeup, how we should do this. The reason why I wear makeup is because I look. If I don't have it on, I still love me. If I don't have these lashes on, I still love me. So I'm not doing it to cover up anything. You hear me saying? Right. But we gotta go back to the factory, get a reset. God, reset me. What do you have me here for? And be okay and lean into that process. That process is gonna look real hard sometimes, y'all. It's gonna look real ugly. And the pride has to go. It has to go. I know it, and I can speak on it because that's where I am right now. Some days I'm like, God, listen. Okay. I was on lockdown all last week. I couldn't work. I couldn't do what Mone't wanted to do, right? Like I said, you put something in my hand, I'm going to work that. I'm going to work it, right? But now he has me a season where I have gone as far as I can do with my own strength and my own power. I have to release it over to him. And so we have to get okay, right? Be okay with letting go and releasing the control. And I know that because I be wanting my hand on the control button. But he's like, no, I have the control. And release it unto me. And that goes in with the faith. It goes in with all of those things. And you will begin. I'm at a place now when I relinquish, when I let it go, when I surrender. That's the word. Ooh, surrender. And that's a word for women. Ooh, but that surrender. And I'll be saying, because I said, God, when my husband come, like, I really don't I'm used to being independent, but I don't have a problem with surrendering, but I want to surrender to the right thing.
Okay. I'm saying I submit if you following God.
If you following God. But if you're following the form or you following the program, you following all those things, jeez. So you shut me down, Antoine. But I'm just saying we have to be okay sometimes with not being okay. Feel the feelings that you're feeling because we're all human. So I don't want to take that out of it. But we have to realize that God, oh my goodness, He just showing me when you just release you, right, and you just be who I've called you to be. Forget about all the titles. He said He'll make room for you. You don't have to chase it down. It's an ease. So I'm in a place as my mentor, shout out to Dr. Vicky. We talk about ease and flow, like ease, like this being in a place of ease and flow. Like I'm okay. I'm up for a good challenge. I'm up for a good challenge, but my antennas come up when something is like it's just like unnecessarily hard. That's a
Mhm.
red flag for me. It's like, wait a minute, no, I don't think God ain't in. Let me just back up. And
Mhm.
so sometimes he'll shut us down like he did me last week. And I wasn't doing it. I'm like, God, am I doing something wrong? That, because I'm in tune. I'm just like, okay, what you want me to do? You want me to work? What you want me to He like, rest, sit down. And when I really got it, like midway, he began to download things. And I'm like, because we gotta be still. What the word
Right.
say, be still and know.
Right.
When
Right.
you be still, that's when you can get some clarity. But when
Right.
you in the process trying to work it yourself, and you
Right.
trying to do this, you trying to do
You're
that,
not gonna get it.
be okay with being still. Sit down somewhere for a
Right.
second.
Okay. Sit down. Sit down.
Down.
My pastor did a sermon last week.
Now.
It was basically like chill out and trust God. It literally was like chill out and trust God. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna
No.
stop you, Monet, because you want to roll.
I'm sorry.
You
Yeah,
want you want to roll.
listen.
No,
She is.
it's a great roll.
She
Um,
is definitely a blessing. What a blessing.
and I want to give a shout out to my sister Dina Smith, aka Darling Dina. She's on right now.
Hey, Dina.
And she said she kind of needed this at this moment. And Dina, thank you for tuning in. As well as Robin R. Haynes. Hold on, let me see if I can. Tina Coleman is still in the
Robin. I'm
building.
sorry.
Yeah, Robin. You know Robin?
That's my girl. She was
Ah,
at my rich. That's we go wait. That's my
ah,
financial advisor.
that's my ninja. Robin
That's
is
my
my
look,
ninja.
my
That's the
everything.
Shout,
ninja.
That's my
shout
girl.
out to Annette Morton. Yeah, I'm saying ninja because I don't want to say the N word
I
on here.
know.
Got you.
Shout out to everybody that's tuned in.
My royal auntie Annette.
But look, I drive
Ooh,
Lyft part time,
uh-huh.
and hold on, I gotta get Dina. Where's your comment? I can't get it off here now. Where
Oh,
was it?
but look,
Okay, there.
listen. I will use
Look,
God. What we
look,
doing today?
and,
Listen.
and and yesterday, I actually picked up a Catholic priest when I was
Oh,
driving yesterday, and we were having a conversation. He's from Honduras, I believe. He said he was from,
okay.
and he asked me a question about the cars that basically drive themselves, and do we have them here in Baltimore? And I was
Mm,
like, no, I don't, we don't have a lot of them here. If anyone has one, I don't know of it.
yeah.
And we started talking about that. And I was like, I don't know if I trust a car enough to let it drive on its own. And
Okay.
I'm not going to get into the full conversation that we had, but his basic point that he was trying to get across was sometimes you gotta just take your hand off the steering wheel and let God lead and trust that God is going to get you where you're supposed to go.
Mm,
And after I dropped him off, I literally shut my Lyft app off for a few minutes ago because I needed to sit on what he told me. And it was the most amazing, like 15-minute drive that I've had in the X amount of years that I've been doing Lyft. It
mm,
was crazy. I took that, and it's crazy because I may never see this guy again because he's getting ready to leave the United States tomorrow. I may never see this guy again, but in 15 minutes, he gave me enough of a message
mm-hmm.
that could last me for the rest of my life.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
Oh,
Introduce the song, Monet. No, introduce the song, Monet. We're gonna get into the song right now because I need a minute.
listen, you got me all full over here. The song Grace Upon Grace, y'all. Grace Upon Grace, released in August 2022. We're coming up, wow, on a year. And I'm just so honored that you have me here. It's my testimony, a piece, because it's more coming out of me. So this in the birthing season. But yes, Grace Upon Grace. Thank you all for your support. It's out on all major networks. You can download it if you need to. You can get a CD from me for those who like CDs still. But that's Grace Upon Grace. You laughing?
Mm.
I'm gonna go ahead and share this song, man. 'Cause I need a minute for real. Here we go.
Mm.
Can you turn up a little bit?
Uh,
Daily your grace saves
there
Okay.
we go.
me, shields me from dangers seen and unseen. Lord, I know I'm so unworthy. You consistently cover me. Grace upon grace you give every day. Grace upon grace when you make a way. You freely give me grace I don't deserve. Lord, I'm grateful for your grace upon grace. Lord, I'm grateful for your grace upon grace. I was overwhelmed by everything, struggling with my faith and failed to believe. You consume my heart and set me free. Lord, I'm grateful for your grace upon grace, your grace. Lord, I'm grateful for your grace. Grace upon grace you give every day. Grace upon grace when you make a way. You freely give me grace. I don't deserve. Lord, I'm grateful for your grace upon grace, your grace. Lord, I'm grateful for your grace upon grace, your grace, your grace, your grace. Lord, I'm grateful for your grace upon
And prayerfully, she's not signed to some major label that's gonna mute that whole song on the video
Oh my
as it
goodness.
plays. And you know what? The crazy thing is, Mo, as amazing as that song sounded right there, it doesn't do the justice of you singing that song live. Like when we were at Dr. E's event, you remember we had two DJs in the building that
Yes.
night, that day, and the DJs were almost in tears, bro. Like we were all the way in the back of the building. Well, what was the front, I guess, of that building
Yeah.
because we were closer to the front door. And like it was literally church going on up in the house. And I was like, wow. Like now I'm gonna pay her this $30,000 to come sing.
You know what?
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro. I'm telling you, speak that
We're
thing.
gonna keep putting it out there
You
because we
can-
need her to get
I-
some $30,000 checks, and then when she get her first one, she can give me like 1,500, and
Listen, I'm gonna forget the people to help me. Never that.
absolutely, absolutely. So as we're in this position now where you're, how can I say this? You're into the walk. You know, you've listened and you continue to listen, but we're smart enough to know that there's still going to be trials and tribulations to come. Like, where are you, as far as being able to just be ready, when situations come to you, when you know uh those bills might get have to be a little bit late, or whatever the case may be. I'll leave it there, and then I'll get into my next question after that.
Hmm. So where am I in that?
Yeah, yeah.
So literally, I'm in a faith journey. I'm still like in it, but where, so I could be in a place right now. Somebody, if knew the totality, could be like, well, honey, why you even on a whole show tonight? What you know what I'm saying? What you do? You can be,
Mm-hmm.
but God has me. He
Mhm.
like I know he has me, and so I'm doing what I'm navigating. I'm having the necessary conversations that I need to have, who I need to have, and I'm taking care of my business. That's one thing that that I do, of course. But when those times come, it's like
Mhm.
I'm so locked in. I just know he has me, and then he literally comes through. He
Right.
literally comes through, and I'm like, all right, you know. And so yeah, I feel like I'm in a good place. I'm just positioned. I'm being primed for whatever is to come, and
Right.
what is actually is happening for me now. I'm in a place where I feel like, God, I know it's happening. Yeah,
Mm,
I'm dealing with this, but it's happening. So I'm not
Mhm.
even, want to be deterred by what I see, by what I feel. But guess what I'm doing in this season? I'm holding on to what I know,
Mhm.
because our emotions can go up and down, but I
Mhm.
know that he is going to come through right on time. And so that's where I am, and that's how I'm navigating, and that's what I'm locked into right now. Um Again, not saying that I don't have moments, but those moments are moments.
Right.
mm,
You don't sit in it.
While I don't have time to. And
Mhm.
then I guard my peace.
Mhm.
You know,
come on now.
I guard my peace.
Come
I
on
guard
now.
my environment. If someone calls me with negativity or whatever, I have to release. So I'm in a season where I release. I'm releasing what's not no longer serving. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And and that's not saying that, oh, you just let go relationship, da 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 da. But no, we know sometimes we hold on to stuff that we think is for us, or we know that is no longer serving us,
Right.
or
Right.
the version of us that we are becoming, or
True.
we need to become.
Right.
And so I'm in a season of sifting and shifting and all of this good stuff.
Mhm.
But the good in knowing that is literally all working. And I'm not trying to be church, all of that, but I can't, this is what it is. Like, it's literally working for my good because I have a track record.
Mhm.
I have a reference point.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? And so that's how I can show up.
Right.
When you show up, you go up. And that's how I can keep showing up, and I can be and not get stuck um
Mhm.
how I used to,
Mhm.
you
Growth.
know, growth and
Mhm.
and and not allowing people to hold you to your past, right?
Right.
I'm evolving. I said, I have the Free Squad. The Free Squad is a group of women who we just organically, and hey, shout out to the Free Squad, y'all out there, they even popping in on here tonight. It is, the freedom is, I am faith filled, restored, I'm equipped, and I'm evolving. So I'm full, I'm full of faith. I'm, full of the faith of God. It's not being so full of it that I'm actually applying it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm restored. I'm equipped. So I have everything that I need for this moment. And what I'm going to need for the next moment, he's going to give it to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still evolving. And so not a title, not four walls, nothing can keep and hold me down from what he has for me.
Yes.
Darlene Dana said she thought she was listening to Mahalia Jackson when your song was on.
Oh,
That's like, I can't reach that high to say how high of a compliment that was, but
thank you so much.
That just
Thank
speaks
you.
volumes too.
Yeah, you definitely are blessed. You definitely have an anointing on your voice. So
thank you so much.
Are we going to get more? Are we going to get more music?
Absolutely. So I actually have another song that I released shortly after. Well, it's another song that I actually, it's not released, but I completed it, and I need to release it. And it's actually on my CD. It's called Never Fails. It's a more upbeat, upbeat song. So you hit Grace Upon Grace, and Never Fails. And so I'm still in the process. I'm in the process of this cultivating, honing in on my voice and the sound. And so, and it's just stepping out of my box, stepping out of, what I'm used to. And so Never Fails will be available very soon. And I also did a theme song as well that I need to release soon. So I've been writing. And so there's more to come. I was at an event and sung the other day, and the man walked up. He said, and so your CD, where's your CD? And I said, I have the CD.
That would have been me.
2 songs on it. Right. Right. And he's from Toronto, Canada. He's like, you got to come out to Toronto, Canada. You got to get your CD. And because I sung 2 songs there. And so, anyway, I said, it's 2 songs on there. He said, that's all right. You're going to have a full CD. And so it's more to come. Thank you, bro.
As Dr. E just said, there's more to come.
Stay
And
tuned.
what's going on with the t-shirts behind you?
Yeah.
So also let me tell you, I've been working. I don't make a whole lot of noise, but I be working. So during the pandemic, I got a, studio in my house, also got the heat and press, and just started learning different things. And so it wasn't until a little bit after that people started coming out of the pandemic that I actually started researching and learning how to create. So I actually created my, God gave me the vision to create my own t-shirt line. And so these shirts are on my website, Mo's Enterprise, mos-enterprise.com. And they have sayings that he's, given me. The Free Squad, I have one. The one that I have on now is Grace Upon Grace for my single. I am free, faith-filled, again, restored, equipped, and evolving. And I am released, refreshed, and restored. And so I have some others. I started out with hoodies as well. So I have hoodies, I have t-shirts, men and women. So that's another part of Mo's Enterprise. Mo's Enterprise is my business, which encompasses all of the gifts and talents that I have. Yes, you got it.
We have that right there.
Yes. I'm a coach, consultant, and here to help push individuals. My mom and I, we also have, and let me know if you want me to pause. But my mom and I, we also have a mobile accessory, a cosmetic and accessory and apparel line. And so in addition to the t-shirts, we have costume and custom design jewelry. We host pop-ups on a bi-monthly basis. And we actually have one coming up on this Saturday. at Glory Days at 4 p.m. And so we have the fashion side. Again, we also have a lot of different parts, the music. Again, just utilizing all of the gifts and talents that God has given me.
Okay. And that's the Glory Days in Towson?
Yeah, so Glory Days in Towson at 4 p.m. We are having Pop Up and Shine. So it is a great time, just great energy, great music to mix and mingle for anybody who has a business. They want to come out and network. We allow them to spotlight their business. It's also a time to celebrate. We also, it's a lot of women, come out, but the men also come out. My brother Dr. E, he knows he in there, one of the men who always supports us as well. And yeah, so Glory Days at Towson, right in the bullpen when you walk in the front door.
Okay.
East Chapel Road.
Yep.
East Chapel Road.
Chapel Road.
I can't think of the address right offhand, but it's East Chapel Road, right
And
after you pass Lock Raven.
yes, the address is 1220 East Joppa Road, Towson,
Yeah,
Maryland.
what she said. What she said.
1220 East Joppa Road. And so it's all on all of our social media handles. Mo's Enterprise on Instagram as well as Facebook. You have Mone't Horton. Is my personal page, but it's also kind of like the business as well. And then as well as my business page is Mone't S. Horton. And so all the information will be there.
What Dr. E said. Dr. E just putting it, he
putting it all out there.
Yes,
My brother,
come back and look at these comments
he does not play about you. He been commenting every 2 seconds.
As soon as he popped on,
he said, buy her CD. Buy it so you can get a signature.
Buy
a t-shirt.
Get a CD.
Like,
she can sing. Yes. La, 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 la.
Look, let me tell you. I posted the other day, get you a brother like Dr. E.
Yes, ma'am.
And I so appreciate him. I really don't take it for granted. But we all need cheerleaders. We all need someone to support. And I
somebody to remind you to work the vision and
build the brand, because he's not gonna let me sit down.
Work the vision and build the brand. So one last question.
Yes,
and this is for my co-host as well as a lot of other people. So to that person that's just right there at the edge, ready to go and step out on faith to chase their dreams, Lisa Mone't, what's your word to them? Yes, I'm always going. I told you. So Mone't, what's your word to them?
Just one word?
No, it can be.
Oh, I got you. All right, got you. Okay. So for that person who is just right on the edge, I'm going to tell you to get moving. Like, get moving. You have so much inside of you that the world has yet to know. You don't even know the power that is within you, but I'm here to tell you, you have everything. You may have been searching and looking at everything external, everything outside of you and checking the boxes. What's this? Looking for fulfillment in your job, looking for fulfillment in your home, looking for fulfillment in your relationship, right? But guess what? Everything is inside of you. And you're not going to find fulfillment in those things until you are connected to the main source. And that source is Jesus Christ. And so perhaps today, this is your opportunity. You're not here by happenstance, but you need a factory reset. And you need to get plugged into the one and only source. Because you're looking to your relationship, your husband, your wife, you're looking to your education, you're looking to all of these things to tell you what you should be and what you should do. What is your purpose? Except for the one who created you for the purpose. So it's time for you to stop doing so much. Sit still, be still, and be what he has called and purposed you to be. And the reason why you might not know is that you didn't take a moment and just be still. Just sit down for a second. Listen, feel, create. Think about what is it in this moment in your life that you really want? What is the life? Not the life that you are living, that you feel like you have to live, or the cycle of getting up every day going, and it is like, but it's no fulfillment, right? But think about what is it that you really want out of life. Write it down and begin to take the steps, the action steps, because no one else is going to do this but you. For you. Now is your time. Your time is not what you're waiting for, because time is going. Time is of the essence, right? But it's your time when you make it your time. Don't say you're waiting on God, because he's waiting on you. And I just want to wrap up and share a poem that has literally, it was shared with me years ago when I was an undergrad by my director, Crystalline Boyd, and it's by Dr. Benjamin E. Mays. And it talks about the importance of time. It says, I have only just a minute, only 60 seconds in it. Forced upon me, can't refuse it. Didn't seek it, didn't choose it. But it's up to me to use it. I must suffer if I lose it. Give account if I abuse it. Just a tiny little minute, but eternity is in it. My question is, what are you going to do with the time that you have? You got to be a good steward of it. Now is your time. It is your time to lean in and tap in, because all you need is already inside of you. All of it. No more waiting. No more holding back. You're not on pause. You have a green light. Whether you're single, you don't have to wait for your husband. God gave me and I have to birth that out. Single, sip. It's time for you to start sipping. Single, saved, and in purpose. When he finds me, I'm going to be found in my purpose. The reason why, and I'm going to shut this down, but the reason why he ain't come yet is because you're not in your purpose. You're not doing what he told you to do the first time. You hear what I'm saying? So get lost in your purpose. And if you haven't started the journey, jump on that journey of self-discovery. And another thing that just came to my mind real quick, I was and I'm going to pull it up on my phone. I was reading the I was in devotions yesterday, and one quote that I used to get stuck on, and this is what they say when you are a jack of all trades and a master of none.
Right.
By William, was it Shakespeare? He was reading that, and a lot of times we embrace and we take on cliches and words, and we really don't know what the back history and the backstory was it. But if you research it, see, the people don't read the next part, and that thing had me stuck, because I was thinking, like, God, I'm out here using all of my gifts and talents, and you have some coaches who say you focus on the one thing, and don't get me wrong, there's sometimes you need to hone in your skills, and you need to develop those, right? So it's a time in the season, but that's why you got to know what season you are in. And so with that being said, it's okay. And he told me, it's okay to take the time and jump on this path of self-discovery, because it's going to feel like you unearthing and you pulling up all these different things, because you are going to get to one day, you're going to look up and you're right at the place that he wants you to do and wants you to be, but you won't know unless you start. You got to start from where you are. And so don't worry about being a jack of all trades and a master of none.
I'm not. Mhm.
Right?
Right.
Read the other half of the comment where and it says it's better than being or not starting at all. Basically, I'm just summing it up, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Look it up, y'all. And actually, he was giving it was a compliment as opposed to something negative, that negative connotation to it. And so, what I'm saying is get started. Get started right now. If you feel like you're stuck, if you feel like you can't go on, guess what? Look up. It's morning. It's your time to shine. It's right now. I'm gonna stop right there because y'all got me real stirred up tonight. But I pray that I've said something that will shift, disturb the norm, the regular cycle that individuals have been in, so that they can max out on the life that God has entrusted you with.
Mhm.
Thank you all for having me tonight.
You know what? Thank you for coming. Thank you so much. You are such an inspiration. I was right there with everything that you said. Like, I was totally engaged the entire time. So do not think that you came on here and took over the show because this was what you were supposed to come on here and do. You did exactly what you were supposed to do. So,
I told you.
exactly.
I told you. Now,
Ooh. Thank you so much, Lisa.
I'm not usually one for putting people on the spot, but Dr. E said I can't let you go unless you sing.
Okay.
So, Dr. E
I'm not
said,
gonna give up. We know this girl was anointed.
Dr. E said that I can't let you go without letting you sing.
All
Okay.
right.
All right. Okay. We good. We did
I'm
that. He did that to me the other night. No, God, you
put-
come to. I know. But grace upon grace you give every day. Grace upon grace when you make a way. You freely give me grace I don't deserve. Lord, I'm grateful for your grace upon grace, your grace. Lord, I'm grateful for your grace upon grace. That was just a little bit, y'all.
Thank you.
Come on, Mahalia. Come on, Mahalia.
Not my
He
Come
didn't tell
on,
me.
Mahalia.
That's all right. Go ahead. Go ahead. Look, that's what look, they were my coming up in school, when we had to do the Black History reports and stuff. Marian Anderson and Mahalia Jackson, all of those were women that I kind of gleaned from. And so hey, it's an honor. Thank
Yeah,
you.
absolutely.
Yes, it is.
Monet, as I knew this would be, this is an amazing show.
Amazing.
I thank you for your transparency.
Yes.
My wife said I got my son listening. Shout out to my son Tyler.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
as I knew that this would be an amazing show, and I want to thank you for first of all just taking the time. We knew that we were going to make this happen eventually, and I felt like that there was a reason that this happened at the time that it did. I don't know what's going to come out of this. I don't know who has listened to this show or who might watch the replay that needed to be touched by the things that you said tonight. But I just thank you. God bless you on the journey, because as far as you are, you're just beginning. I know that there's a lot more out
Yeah.
there for you. And whenever you need access granted, we're here. I appreciate you. Just let everyone know how they can follow you and keep in touch.
Absolutely, absolutely. So again, thank you so much, brother Antoine, for inviting me on. Pleasure meeting you,
We
Lisa.
stuck now. I'm telling you, we stuck. We stuck. We
Look,
can't get away.
You
Already
and
got you coming for the dance ministry anniversary.
Oh,
Hey, you stuck.
you have me locked in, and before I just give my information, I just want to say that when I looked at the title of your show, Access Granted, for me, it was just a further confirmation, because God speaks to me through everything to let me know that, baby girl, you have the access has been granted, and so
okay.
you have been granted access, and so
I mean,
you're not on pause. Look, so it's such a pivotal time, and even the name of your show is just prophetic, and so I just want to say thank you for your vision, and thank you for staying in position, because I know that this is not easy, but I thank you for just being who you are and giving me the opportunity. And for those who want to stay connected, please definitely do. I thank you for your support in advance. You can follow me on Instagram at Mo's Enterprise. I'm also on TikTok, Mo's Enterprise. I'm building that. I'm on YouTube, Mone't S. Horton, as well as on Facebook as Mone't S. Horton and Mone't Horton. And I do have a Mo's Enterprise page as well. We also have Sarah Beauty and Jewels, where you'll get all the fashion information. But thank you again. Definitely plug in, because there is so much more to come. If the access has been granted for me, then guess what? The access has been granted for you. So thank you. Thank you.
I might have to get your written permission to use that as a plug on the show.
Go for it. Look, it's prophetic. That thing spoke to me, and I said yes. So thank you again.
Absolutely. I thank you so much, sis. I appreciate you. And I don't even have to say we'll be in touch. We'll definitely be in touch soon.
Yes.
Mone't Horton, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Thank you for showing up tonight.
Thank you. You inspired me as well.
I told you she was gonna come up here and do the darn thing, man. She's you know how you meet a person and it's very random, and you feel like whatever it is that she's giving off. I felt it like immediately, and like I said, we were at a parking lot. I think the first time that that was the first time. Hold on, was that the first day I met you on Boston Street? Okay,
on Boston
just
Street.
sure. Right. Okay. And unfortunately, the restaurant that I was going to that day, they've been closed probably ever since that day. That's the last time I was there, and they've been closed since. But you know how you meet a person and that energy just, and she didn't do anything. She didn't say anything. She wasn't extra. She was just Mone't. And that energy and that spirit and I knew, and first of all, because she was recommended by Dr. E, I knew that it was some legitimacy behind it. But then just her energy and her vibe, I knew that I had to have her on. And man, like I said before, when I heard her sing at Dr. E's event, and it's funny how God worked that out, because we were looking for someone to come and sing. It was originally supposed to be our praise and worship team, but we couldn't get it together. We weren't going to be ready. And I just reached out to Mone't, and I was like, and I didn't really pay her $30,000, but she came and did a $30,000 performance is the point that I'm trying to make. So she came and she blessed a lot of us. And there's actually been people since that night that have asked about you, and a couple of them were actually on the show tonight. So I'm glad that they had an opportunity to experience this as well. But yeah, it's, everything happens for a reason. God connects you with people for a reason. And, I don't know what the full reason is, but I just feel like Mone't and I will be, connected and doing some stuff down the road. And I just appreciate you, sis.
Thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate
All right, get off my show. I don't want to talk to you no more. No, I had to bring her back because I wanted to make sure I gave the right information, because it was down on Boston Street that we met. But just we appreciate everybody, man. It just took some time to chime in with us. The comments things was off the chain tonight. I was getting tired of clicking the mouse button. But
I know this is the most comments we've ever had.
Exactly. That's always a great thing.
Yeah.
And she also shared the show on her Facebook page and her
Oh,
YouTube channel as well. I'm sitting here and I'm
awesome.
looking at the top of my screen and I'm wondering
Uh-huh.
why I'm seeing extra icons that I never noticed, and they have links on them with the M. And then I figured out, okay, that's Monet sharing to her pages
Oh,
as
I'm
well.
looking like,
So
huh?
yeah,
Okay.
so it was like a lot going on up at the top. But
Oh,
thank
okay.
her again for sharing, man. And
She's wonderful. I was inspired. I was a little thrown. I was like, no, he didn't put me
yeah, and you know
on
what?
the spot.
And no, and I do that intentionally,
I
and
know.
there's never any malice behind it. But
Of
I
course
definitely
not.
believe, yeah, of course, you know, I definitely believe in everything that you're trying to do. And anytime I can put somebody in front of you that's going to help you,
Yeah.
anytime I put somebody that's going to inspire you, you know, I'm always throw it out there. So that was the
Yeah.
reason that, you know, that's not the reason that I had Monet on tonight,
No, it's
but
not. She's
it was just perfect
amazing.
timing because you just
Of
talked to Miss
course.
Odessa, and Miss
Uh-huh.
Odessa got you, you know, she got the balls rolling, and now, you know, to hear this inspiration from Monet, you know, I know it's going to touch you and you know get you going in the direction that you want to do. So again, man, we appreciate everybody. Thank you, Miss Annette. We appreciate that, Miss Annette Morton. And
Okay.
make sure that you follow us on the YouTube channel that you're on so you can catch some more of our shows in the future. We be having some
Mhm.
amazing shows on here.
Yes,
Trying to
we
tell
do.
people. But thanks to
This has
everybody,
been a
man.
blessing to be a part.
Yes. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Don't cry. Oh,
No, and it's a blessing to have you here, sis. I
thank
appreciate
you.
it. Because this is your day off, and you know you could be resting for these couple of hours, but I thank you
Mhm.
for, you know, taking the time out to come. Um. Oh, wait a minute. I'm about to forget some stuff that I don't need to be forgetting.
No, don't forget what
Yeah, I got some stuff.
Chambers.
Yeah, I got some stuff that I almost forgot. Whew, man, this was right around the corner, September the
Oh,
21st,
let me do it this way.
2023. Tambra's Restaurant, 3327 St. Paul Street. This is right next to the parking garage, next to Union Memorial Hospital. From 6 to 10 p.m., we will have the Hot Winter Sip and Paint Experience featuring Baltimore's own Ja Avi, Baltimore's own Star B, and Yo Wingman, Tad Nips, and Jay Waiters out of Dallas, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the people from Dallas are ready to come here and show out, y'all. They are ready. Dr. E, I got you. I will definitely send you the flyer. No, in
Yes.
fact, I'll send you the I will send you the hold on. Oh, thank you, Monet. I appreciate that. I just saw the message that you
I
sent. I'm
know.
like, who's sending private messages at the end of the show?
I'm saying.
Dr. E, I will send you the link for the Eventbrite. This is $45 if you choose to participate in the paint part of the night. If not, it's just $10 general admission. Darling Dana, who was on the show earlier tonight, she's going to be cooking for the event. We got lamb chops, we got crab cakes, we got the menu is absolutely amazing. We will have access granted signature Long Island's and rum punch in the drink. In the building that
In
night.
the building
'Cause I was thinking about two things as I was saying
at the
that.
same time.
And this is also hosted by the lovely and talented Miss Lisa Monet in the building. So man, y'all, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm that person that wants tickets to sell out immediately. Like I felt like once I posted that link a couple of weeks ago, I wanted it to be sold out, but I should know better than that. But tickets
Mhm.
are selling. I will say that. And
Yes.
you know, there are tickets available. Unfortunately, we can only do a limited amount of 20 to 25 people for the sip and paint, or for the paint portion. We can only do 20 to 25 people. And I believe half of those tickets may be gone already. So if
Oh
you want to
my.
participate in the paint portion, you need to get on this Eventbrite link and get on it fast. But it's going to be an amazing night. Is with the talent that we have is poetry and R&B. It's really going to be a nice event. And if Monet shows up, we might even have some gospel singing in the house.
Wait a minute. You didn't got her singing at the event?
Hey, she just said you asked not because you have not.
That's what she said. She said that. She said that.
No, I wouldn't do that to you, Mo. But I definitely hope that you can make it out for the event.
I mean, it could be, I got some other flavors in there. Wait
Darling
Yes.
Dana, I have you as
No,
well.
this
She
is
just asked me to
awesome.
send.
I'm gonna
Yes,
lock
this is
in.
and I gotta give a shout out to my man Jay Waiters out of Dallas, Texas. He visited, he was on the show last year, and then he visited Baltimore. And this hot winter sip and paint experience is actually a tour that he's doing. And he hit me up and he was like, "Bro, I want to start the tour in Baltimore. Can you work with me?" And there was no way that I could say no. And so I'm just looking forward to, Baltimore. We got to show up and show out that night. We got to show up and show out that night, man. And and we're also gonna do like an unofficial after party Friday night at what's that place called by the Baltimore Comedy Factory? Safari.
Okay.
Always forget. I keep wanting to
You
say the
need to do
jungle.
a flyer for that as well, I believe.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a flyer. I keep wanting to call it the jungle, and it's not the jungle. It's Safari. But we're gonna do an unofficial after party Friday night. I need to talk to my sister, and also shout out to my sister Nene, the original party girl, because she's the one that works at Timbers that's given us the access to put this whole event together. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be an amazing night, man. I hope everybody can make it out.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
Lisa, you got anything before we get out of here?
No, you guys can follow me on my IG, Lisa Johnson. I'm sorry, Lisa Mone't the Movement, and my
I was about to
Facebook
say,
page.
your IG is not Lisa Johnson.
It's not. Lisa Johnson is my Facebook page. It's
Yes.
more to come. I'm gonna want more to come, but yes. So, and please come out to our event. You'll see me host for my very first hosting event. I'm so excited to be a part of this. I'm so glad. So yes.
And also, as y'all can see, I guess I got to use this hand. As y'all can see,
Oh
right at
yeah,
the bottom, we have the access granted dirty half and half and rum punches available. $12 for a pouch or a 4-pack bundle for $40. You save $8 if you get the bundle. I was sipping on a little one tonight. Shout out to my partner, Tipsy Fiend. Yeah, that's all we're doing. And again, shout out to my man for the shirt tonight. My man Calvin Snook the Crook. Ownership is gangster. That's the real gangster right there. Get off the corners and start owning you something. Ownership is gangster. And those t-shirts are available for $20. If you hit me up on my inbox, I can let you know how to contact him. But again, we appreciate everybody. Monet, we love you. We thank you. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Next
Thank
week,
you so much for coming.
Next week we'll be in the building with my man DJ King Ray, Grammy nominated producer, such and such and such and such. He has new music. He has stuff that he's doing. So looking forward to chopping it up to my brother. We'll see you guys next week. Access granted, the pod stream. Monet, give it a heart.
We love
Heart. I love the heart. Thank you all. Love you all.
Love you
Lisa
too.
Mone't. I love that Mone't. I like the way you spell that too. That's nice.
You know, but I can't take credit for it. My parents.
I know you're not.
You know what I'm saying? But thank you for that. Yes.
Yeah,
That's
oh my God, Mone't.
Yes, Mone't, yeah.
And it's funny because I didn't remember the Monet part until she started being my co-host. So
Really?
No, because I don't really lead with my middle. Like my family leads with
I got
my middle
you.
name, and people that
but,
their yeah.
Were you using that when you were on Radio on Fire?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I didn't
No,
think so. Okay,
I wasn't. I was just using was it? I don't remember.
I don't
I was
remember.
going by Fashionably Forward with that show, but that's a
Yeah.
whole other story.
So she got all on Access Granted,
like
wanted
that.
to change her name and all that stuff.
Love
I love it. All right, man. We're out of here. We'll see you guys next week.
Take care. Thank you.